My name is Andrey Arsenyev. I'm the head of a military historical studio of beauty miniatures called Russian Knight. The whole world is now talking about Russian schools. This is what we created, the Russian School of Beauty Miniatures. We turned a toy soldier into a military historical miniature, so from toys we created works of art. Even at first glance, these figurines captivate with their realism and minute details. Frozen in memories from centuries past, we seem poised to awaken in the next second, to start to move and speak. It is as if we have been transported from different eras by some mythical time machine into the Russian Knight studio director's office. At present, I consider the best work of art to be the departure of a Chinese commander on an elephant. It's modeled really well. The elephant is the work of Natalia Alexeyeva, the carriage Mikhail Polsky. We are beautifully painted by the artist Yulia Moshura. The composition is thought out to the smallest details. The arrogant commander with his assistant fawning over him, the Mahou deftly guiding the elephant by pricking his ear with a special hook and uncus. The elephant reluctantly obeying, about to take its next step. The artist skillfully imitates the texture of fabrics, leather and the armor's metal. The tiny umbrella cast from glass resin looks like it was made of the finest translucent Chinese silk. Why can other figurines can be considered the best in the world? Because we have been recognized by leading experts in the field. Russian Knight was the first Russian studio to present its beauty toy soldiers at international competitions and win prestigious awards. This is one of the first masterpieces of the studio, a 14th century Western European knight. In 1998, it convinced a strict English jury. We came to England for the first time and immediately won the Grand Prix. It was something incredible for both them and us. Picture a hall, the MC announces on a stage. And now, here you will hear the name of the country, what has never before been called in this hall. What country is Russia? Well, simply tears in my eyes. When the sculptor made a volume sketch of this figurine, it was immediately clear where was such power in it. What I call there is a song. Usually such an effect is achieved with dynamics. The statuette is running, screaming, chopping something. It's really difficult to achieve such an effect in a static statuette. Here it has been achieved. Fallen leaves, touched by the ice of a frozen river, every detail conveys the general mood of the composition. I sculpted, molded, cast, processed, painted and sold. I did everything myself. Later I understood that I could involve other specialists and expand production. First I involved artists, then sculptors and casters. This is how the Russian Knight studio was founded. Over the 30 years of the studio's existence, around 1500 miniatures have been created. They are kept in private collections all around the world. Some of them are displayed in museums. The birth of every figurine is painstaking work that takes several months. It's a pity the masterpieces cannot be created like this, as if by magic. It all begins with an idea or a concept. This is mainly my task. I propose the concept, based on which the sculptor and the main artist create a moving sketch, staging sketch and anatomical sketch. When the historian comes into play, the historian checks whether the sketch is historically accurate. And after that, the sculptor brings the statuette to completion, to the end. All the artisan's work at Russian Knight is founded on historical authenticity. There is therefore no doubt that an Egyptian warrior of the Ptolemaic era might very well have looked exactly like this. The figurine is ultra-realistic. The rider's clothes don't just correspond to the era, they look pretty well worn. You can observe holes, scuff marks and even dust on them. If you take a closer look at the miniature, you might notice a tiny scar beetle under the legs of the camel. Well, it occurred to me to make an insect on a 1/30 scale. It seemed absolutely impossible. I spoke to our jeweler, Andrey Arsenyev. In the end, he made that bug 1.4 millimeters long. He even managed to inscribe his initials on a leg. The microscopic details of the military historical miniatures can be viewed endlessly. It is hard to believe that an artist is able to manually perform such a fine painting. To draw a line, a person needs to hold their breath. Imagine drawing 400th of a millimeter with a brush. And we do is not along a flat plane, but across a 3D statuette. So we need to draw across the contours of the figurine. Recently at Russian night an idea was implemented, that of a flying horse rider with none of his horse hooves touching the figurine stand. A Japanese samurai's horse is depicted leaping across an obstacle. It's only from a specific angle that one can notice. The horse body is attached to the fence post with a brush that's been reinforced with a steel knitting needle. The plan I have is the exact same one I had 30 years ago. It is perfection, endless perfection. The ideal for beauty miniatures does not exist. We move into the unknown. We move towards infinity.